In this video, I will show how to create a Conda environment that can be mounted in the JupyterLab application such that new Conda packages doesn't have to be installed every time a new instance of the JupyterLab application is opened. The first thing I will do is create an empty folder for my new Conda environment. And then I will run the Jupyter application. For this instance of the Jupyter application, I will mount this new folder I have created. Now, as a quick note, let's take a look at how the JupyterLab works and what instances we can create. So we can see we have a list of programming languages, and later we'll see that another one for Python will appear, and this one will contain our custom environment. To create this new Conda environment, I will just use the regular Conda commands, Conda create, and then use the prefix to point to our empty folder where we'll create the environment. And then I will choose a Python version. Now, to be able to activate our new environment, we'll first have to enable the Conda bash hook. Now we can activate our new environment by using the Conda activate and then point at our environment folder. Now, a requirement we have to be able to add this new Conda environment to the JupyterLab and use a Jupyter notebook for our environment is that we need the IPyKernel package. And then we can use the IPyKernel command to install this new environment into the Jupyter notebook. So now we can go back and open the interface. And we can see that a new Python has appeared. That is also just a working Python, but now with our custom environment. Now doing this every time we run the application and adding the new environment to the Jupyter kernels we can start is a little bit tedious. So we can fix this with a startup script. Now one thing that is very important when we make a startup script in a shell format is that we do not have Windows line endings. So if we're using an editor like Notepad++ on Windows, we'll have to change this to Unix format. And we'll tell the script to use bash, and then we can just type the commands that we did in the terminal. So we'll first hook the Conda to the bash, and then we'll activate our Conda environment. And at last we'll add the Conda environment as a kernel in the Jupyter notebook. All we have to do now is to upload this startup file to UCloud. And then we can start our JupyterLab. In our startup, we'll now point to our startup shell script. And of course, we'll also have to remember to mount the Conda environment that we installed before. Now, if we scroll up in the terminal output here, we can see that it has installed a bunch of stuff. So it has just added the environment as a Jupyter kernel, as we'll see when the interface opens. And then we have it here. Now we can check that this is working by getting the Python version, which should be 3.11. And now we can see it works. The default version in the Jupyter notebook is slightly lower than 3.11, so we know that we have loaded the correct environment.